Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Kris.
And today we'll be talking about The Kardashians, Season 4, Episode 4.
Before you get into it, Blair, make sure y'all like, subscribe, share, comment, all the above. We want to see it all. I want to get into these comments and read y'all thoughts on it. Every comment is accepted. It really is. I want to know what y'all think. Come on, Blair, walk us through it.
Well, Kim and Kylie are on the couch chatting.
Yeah. What's up, Kylie?
And they're talking a little bit about Milan. And Stormy comes out, and Kim has a cute little moment with her niece.
Yeah.
Kim tells us that she's taking Saint and his friends on a soccer tour to different countries, which is pretty awesome.
Which is pretty expensive. Okay?
Yes.
Pretty expensive. Go ahead.
Next, we have Kris and Khloé. They go to visit Scott because his back still hurts. He thinks that he's actually going to need surgery because he met with his other doctor.
Yeah.
And Kris, she comes over with the intention of finding out who is Scott dating.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes. And Scott says, I really can't be alone just with me and the kids. Like, I do want to date. I do want to have my person.
Yeah.
Kris says she could be alone with her kids. But Khloé says, girl, you've never been alone with your kids.
That's facts.
You've always had a man.
That's facts.
So Scott says Khloé has all the characteristics he likes. In low-key flirting, they like play for her all the time, but he just says it's really just he needs someone who won't give up on him. Yeah. So he needs a fool.
So basically, based on I haven't seen the show, so that was a playful flirt. That wasn't like he really don't feel like he chose the wrong sister.
No, he'd be like flirting and like trying to like rub up on her and stuff like that. But I think they really do have like a weird brother sister bond. That
they just rub on each other.
They like he be flirting with her sometimes.
Okay, continue.
Yeah. Well, Kris recommends a matchmaker. Penelope, she walks in, their daughter, and they ask Penelope who do they think what kind of woman should Scott date, and she says definitely someone close to his age.
Thank you, Penelope. Thank you, Penelope.
Because he be dating 19, 20-year-olds. She said someone with a good personality and someone who goes to the gym because he also needs to go to the gym.
Basically, I need me an older woman that is in my daddy's age. Excuse me. I need an older woman who's in my daddy's age and also someone who's in the gym that can motivate him not to be fat.
Yeah.
That's basically what she said. Shout out to Penelope. She was the star of the show.
The realist.
Thank you.
Well, Kim has Saint and his friends on the plane, and she also has the moms there too, and they're getting ready to go to the Arsenal game. Yeah. Khloé and Kris have 5 candidates from the matchmaker that they're going to sit down and meet with. Yeah. They interview the girls, and Kris, she's also keeping Rob in the back of her mind of who could possibly date Rob.
Listen here, I feel you.
Yeah. Back to London. Kim's in London with the kids and the soccer moms. The moms are in their Sprinter heading there to the game, and Kim is talking about how her friends always want to hook her up. They were teasing her about, there's going to be some single guys on the soccer field, there's going to be some cute guys, and Kim's like, I have an age limit, like I actually need somebody like in their 40s now.
Thank you, Kim.
Yeah. Well, Kim talks about going to the Met Gala and inviting a +1, and she touches on that because there was something that was going on online about how none of the Kardashians were invited to the Met Gala this year. And that really rubbed her the wrong way, just because in the past she actually wasn't invited for a really long time. And the only reason she got to go the first time is because she was Kanye's +1. And
that was like years ago? Yeah.
And now her +1 is going to be, the theme I think was Karl Lagerfeld last year. And so she's going to bring his cat. Is the plan for this year, his actual cat. Okay. Just like she wore the actual Marilyn Monroe dress. Continue. Like Kim always got a moment.
Yeah, always a moment that like doing too much in my eyes, but continue.
Yeah. Well, Kim left Saint's Arsenal jersey at home and he is going through it, honey. He's like, this is like the worst day ever. And Kim, they get him like some swag bags and different things to try to make him happy, which he does. And I think Kim's relationship and also her humor with her kids is really funny because she's just like, oh my gosh, I'm like just the worst mom ever, huh? Yeah. She's just like, okay, whatever, Saint. And she tells us that she hired a Manny to have a male role model in the kids' lives.
Dude, like, you think that's a good idea?
No.
Why? Teach us.
Maybe it's just how I been raised in my head.
Because
it's like you don't bring grown men around your kids. You just don't, because you just never know. Some people are weirdos.
This is what I don't understand.
So it could be women too, but that's just automatically in my head. I was like, you bringing a strange grown man around your kids? I don't know. Like in my head, I was like, okay, let's say Kanye's not around. Let's just say he's not around a lot, right? What Corey doing? Do y'all trust Corey to be around the kids? You got Tristan around the kids, but Tristan be in and out, literally. Yeah. So to hire a man to give them a male perspective or to basically be a role model to the kids, I'm like, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But I could be too broke for this. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I don't know this life of a nanny or a manny or things like that. Like if my parents not raising me, I won't be raised. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So that was one of my talking points. Like, how do you feel about her hiring a manny for her little children, especially at this young age, to where they can get attached and things like that? And I think I'm kind of there with you in a way of like, hey, you don't really want to bring men, even if they are on the payroll, even if you do vet them. If you don't have to, I wouldn't bring stranger men around my children. That's just my opinion. Yeah. And it also made me think like there's no other outlet or male resource y'all can get other than hiring somebody. I'm like, he likes soccer. Like, is he honest? I think they are on a soccer team, but is like the coach a guy? Like, are there like boys and girls clubs? You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, I'm like, there's things to where I feel like someone doesn't have to be in such close proximity with your kids with you not around. You know, like, I'm just like, I just feel like it should be more so in group settings and stuff. Anyway,
walk us through it.
Kanye apparently was cool with it. And that's great, I guess.
But Kanye not there, so
exactly.
I don't know what's going on with Kanye, but who knows what? Do Kanye know what's going on with Kanye? Who knows?
Yeah. Kim lets us know that she's going to make the time to create memories with her babies, regardless of the busy schedules.
I would ask that if you're gonna make memories with your babies, maybe you should unbusy your busy schedule.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I'm like,
so you basically just like the fun dad that comes around for the fun stuff. And like when she was even talking about, I don't want to discipline them like that because I don't really have someone around to like tap me out. I'm not around like that. And I'm just like, it sounds like you might need to be more like Courtney. I don't know.
It just sounds like you need to be a
parent.
Exactly. I'm like, yo, you want to be everything. Last episode, you talking about you want to be seen and respected as an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, this episode, I hired a manny. I'm like, yo, if you're too busy to take care of your kids, then unbusy yourself. But like I said, maybe I'm too broke to understand. Yeah. But I just figure you got enough money. That's just how I think. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm off. Blair watched this show more than I have. I don't know.
But see, I also understand, look, if you're a single parent of 4 kids and, you know, you work and you do stuff like that, of course, childcare is there and important. And if you're able to afford it, awesome. But I do agree that, I don't know. I think you could pick your kids up from soccer and maybe have a chef cook dinner. Like, I don't know. I'm just like, I feel like there's more ways to be involved in the day to day versus giving it to somebody else to basically have the power to raise your kids.
And this is
just, but listen, they're also in a different tax bracket. I don't know.
And listen, I want people to understand that we're only reviewing the show based on what we seen this episode. I'm not going back to past episodes to try to put pieces together. There was a part of this episode, I don't know, you put it in your notes. She said they grow up so fast. She said even now her kids don't really want to give affection in public anymore because like they growing up. You know, they get into that stage to where like they should kiss their mom goodbye quickly because they don't want
looking to see if their friends are around. Exactly. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like maybe you should unbusy yourself because money can always be made. But like you said, your child is growing up and time is forever moving and things like that. I don't know. It's just my opinion. Maybe I'm out that tax bracket, but I'm just like, I think one way to solve this problem is to say no to certain engagements. You don't have to go to the Met Gala. Hell, you never got an invite to it. So what's the point? You ain't missing nothing.
Well, she has now.
I'm saying like this the first time she's been invited outside of her +1 with Kanye.
No, it's not.
Since when?
Kanye was the first time she was invited she went as a +1, but ever since then she's had an invitation. How many years ago was that? Probably 10 years ago?
So, but
she's been invited ever since. But I'm saying
10 years before that, you wasn't going.
Okay.
You wasn't going. Mm-hmm. There's nothing there for you. You get what I'm saying? It's just a place for you to. And again, I'm sure it is for charity and things like that. They do raise money and all that stuff. But I'm like, you can say no to things. That's my point.
Yeah.
Even if you are invited now, excuse me for misspeaking. But before you got that invite from Kanye, and then ever since then you started getting invites. Before that, you wasn't missing anything, and you still was Kim Kardashian. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? You're not gonna miss a meal if you don't go to an engagement. You get what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. But then again, tax bracket, totally out of it. You know what I'm saying? Well, continue.
Right. Well, Kris goes to Scott's house to reveal their final decision.
Yeah.
And, to get an update because their final choice was Celine, and Scott actually went on a date with her.
Yeah.
And Scott liked that she was very optimistic and very positive. And apparently Scott...
And that she was Jewish, too.
Oh, yeah, she was Jewish. Mm-hmm. And we see flashes of their date. And Scott brought up his parents and how he would have spent more time with them. If he would have knew he would have lost them at a young age. Because she talks about how... I think she still lives with her parents, or like she'd be hanging out at the house with the family and stuff all the time. And he's trying to kind of dig deep into her to understand like what her hardships have been, like what are some things she's overcome in life. And she's like, well, I lost my grandparents. And he was like, how old was he? Like 100? And she was like, he was like 101. Okay. Exactly. And he says she was a nice girl. He would like to meet up with her again and just kind of see where things go. I honestly don't want her to date Scott. I think Scott needs to get himself together first, especially if you're going to need surgery. Like, don't be using that girl to have somebody to take care of you while you got surgery. Okay?
But his back will be out.
Hire somebody.
Listen here. Scott is the definition.
Scott just seems miserable. I'm just like, get yourself together first.
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
Scott is the definition of a trust fund baby. Literally. He showed up to the day in a hoodie. He just looks like he just has money. He don't work, but he just has money. He have a car collection and things like that. Scott just looks like, I am true to this. I'm not new to this.
Yeah.
So I don't really know if his life... Put like this, I always wonder about these women who, like, especially during the matchmaking part with Kris Jenner and Khloé, that I don't really think they really realize how fast-paced a life like Scott is. And I'm not just saying that because he's into cars, he's into that type of stuff. I'd be like, Scott is used to a life that I don't think, unless you are a trust fund baby yourself or was like born in this life.
Well, she said she grew up in Beverly Hills. She went to the same school as Rob.
Yeah, but like I think it's different though, because I think even people who are rich in that tax bracket, Scott lives like you was telling me privately, like Scott lived a fast life, and now he's only slowing down because he's injured and he's older.
Yeah,
but I saw in the episode he had a graphic tee of himself on it.
Yeah.
This should give you an idea. At least it gives me one of like, oh, Scott thinks he's jet flying, you know what I mean? Like he's like this type of lifestyle. Like he's not a personality. He's a lifestyle.
I mean, he called himself the Lord. Lord Disick. So and was serious about it for years.
So I'm like with Scott, even if someone who was in Beverly Hills and you probably went to school with the brother and stuff like that, Scott is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
That I think there needs to be with these matchmaking things that Kris Jenner doing. She need to give some lessons and classes and tutorials to these women to let them know what type of life that they are basically thrusting these women into when they try to match them with Scott. Yeah. Continue.
Kim takes the kids shopping and she sets up a call with their favorite soccer player, Sokka. I mean, everywhere these kids are going, they're meeting soccer players, getting jerseys signed. Like they are hobnobbing it up.
They are. This is what I call when the mother and father's divorce and we get to actually spend time with daddy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't eat no vegetables. We go out, we play games all day. It just like, okay, Kim is the fun parent while the nannies are the parents, I guess it seemed like.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. Don't judge me. I just started watching the show. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, they go to the Back to the Future. She said, we're jam-packing this day to tire these kids out so we can go to bed. Well, they go to the Back to the Future musical, and the boys even go. They meet the actors. Yeah. And then the ladies go out for St. Patrick's Day, and the kids are at the hotel, and security is watching them. And when they get back, they play soccer in the hallways with the kids, and they have the entire floor, which she specified, so they're not there to, keep people up. And to me, that was a flashback and an ode to back in the day when Courtney and them were at a hotel, and she was playing Ding Dong Ditch on people's doors in hotels, and that was so rude and so disgusting.
Do you know what's crazy? Ding Dong Ditch is one of my favorite games that I grew up playing. So I find it interesting that you find it so disgusting. It's so
because Courtney's how old? And she over here banging on people's doors and running down hallways.
That's the fun part.
I'm just like, don't mess with people. Leave people alone. So,
but it's like a harmless fun.
But to me, that was a kind of a, if you know, but it was probably Kim more so just saying we weren't trying to mess with nobody. We had the whole floor. It was
Courtney,
cool.
You seem like my type of fun time. Okay. That is something that I grew up doing. Even though it's harm, and the thing about it is we used to play Ding Dong Ditch 2:00 in the morning. So you can imagine you sleep and we knocking on doors. You don't know who at your door. You open the door, you don't see us. You know what I'm saying? It's a ghost. Continue. I think this is the last part of the episode. Yeah. I want to talk about this. This is where my conversation lands. Continue.
Yeah. Well, Kris and Khloé are chatting, and Kris is proud that Scott went on a date. After that, now she's thinking about Khloé and Khloé's dating life and really wanting Khloé to have somebody.
Yeah.
And Khloé says that she doesn't have a dating life.
No.
Kris asks, well, what happens if Tristan moves on, but you're not really ready to move on yet?
Good question.
And Khloé, she actually really wants him to move on.
Yes.
And she said it'll probably sting to see him publicly, with somebody when the time comes. But it won't be because she wants him. It's just because it's just the first time.
Yeah.
And Kris says, will Khloé regret not getting back with Tristan? Just seeing how he puts all this effort into her and the kids. Yeah. And Khloé, it's frustrating. She built this greatness that is Tristan at this point, and it'll go to someone else. And Khloé is saying, why can't someone see how great I am to begin with? They always have to do me dirty and I move on and it's the end. And then they want to see how great I am and be with me. And Khloé, her mom's talking to her, about the cheating and Tristan, and Khloé's like, well, what was your mindset when you cheated?
To be continued. I have a question. Khloé said, which is a bar. She said, look, man, they wait to do me dirty and do me wrong to see my greatness. But when it's me, I see your greatness from the beginning.
Yeah.
Question. Now, this going to have to do something outside of the conversation. Sure. Did I get back to the conversation? What is it about? How do you feel about Kris Jenner being, I don't want to say forgiving, but what's the word? Involved in, she's in Scott's life. That's Courtney's ex. You get what I'm saying? Now she's over there giving Tristan jobs. You get what I'm saying? Not only is that Khloé's ex, that's Khloé's baby father, as well as Tristan did her daughter wrong.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Kris Jenner still giving that family what's that family privilege to these people that do her daughter wrong?
I don't feel.
Am I off?
You're not off, because it is, to me, it is weird how close that they remain with the men in the family that do the women wrong, like Scott. They still kind of consider him a brother, and Tristan and stuff like that. But I'm just these women have children with the guys, and I think that plays a bigger role in the big picture. I think she's looking more so out for her grandkids. So I think giving the fathers opportunities, trying to keep them in the fold as far as vacations or family things, I think that her mindset is really always out for what's best for the children.
Mm-hmm.
Because even when her and Rob broke up and she was with Bruce, they still co-parented, did family vacations, birthday parties. Like, the kids would always be around their parents, and there was no they couldn't tell the tension.
But you say Kris Jenner did that even when she wasn't together with Bruce at the time.
No, when she wasn't with Rob, their dad.
When she wasn't with Rob at the dad.
Yeah.
At the time, rather.
Yeah.
But
so that's why, like, I kind of look at it as that's just kind of how Kris is.
But it goes to the point. She was the one who cheated, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So she wasn't done wrong necessarily.
So that's why I'm like.
And Bruce turned into Caitlyn, and we don't see Caitlyn nowhere. So, I mean, yeah.
You see how I did the...
Yeah.
You see how I brought it back
maybe
around?
when she gets felt like done wrong, she's quick to cut somebody off.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can imagine, because I would think people in those powerful positions, like, you do me wrong. Like, for one, you a fool. I'm Kris Jenner. Like, and when I say Kris Jenner, I'm not only pinpointing her.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, why would you do somebody wrong who you have all the benefits and access to?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But now I'm thinking of Khloé. Khloé over here, she gets done wrong, right? She gets done wrong in the most public way, right? Khloé haven't done nothing to nobody. To Lamar, she haven't done nothing to Tristan. She haven't done nothing to nobody as far as we know, right? Khloé's always been the victim. But it just seems like, I don't want to say forgiving, because I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but it's like, okay, where is that?
Well, what do you think of it?
It's weird to me. Because I want to say, it doesn't feel like Kris Jenner has a gift of making business transactions feels like family transactions. Like, I feel like if she was thinking about her grandkids with Tristan, it didn't feel that way. She just be like, hey, you wanted a job? I'm gonna make a call. But I'm like, why would you make a call for this guy? He did your daughter wrong. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just very confused. Like, hey, why are you so close with Scott? Scott's not even your son. You get what I'm saying? Like, truth be told, like, Courtney's remarried. Even though they co-parent and things like that, that's their business. But, like, Scott is still very much a Kardashian, or viewed that way, or whatever. It's like what is it?
But it's not just her. I mean, it's Khloé, it's Kim. I mean,
okay. Teach me.
They all treat each other's exes, except Kanye, like family. You know?
And Kanye just seemed like Kanye just did too much. You get what I'm saying? Like, at least the other guys, they just cheated and things like that. Kanye out here like, she wanted me to get a divorce. And I'm like, well, okay, man, Kanye's bad for the brand.
Yeah. Like Kanye, they really distance themselves.
Yeah, it's like, you know, before he know it, he'd be over here talking about Nazis and things like that. Like
he's a liability.
Yeah, exactly. He gonna make us lose things.
Yeah.
I just find it very interesting that Kris Jenner, I don't know. And granted, I'm not saying that I need her to give people the cold shoulder, but I just felt like nothing changed. It just like, yo, Khloé get treated like dirt. Hey, Tristan, what's going on with you, man? Khloé gonna fill that gap whenever you leave. I'm like, wait a minute. Like,
yeah. I mean, I hear what you're saying, because it is kind of like over the line at times, of just like being friendly and out the mess. Like, it's kind of like overtly trying to like say like, you're good with me.
Yeah, it's like,
you know what I'm saying?
But like, how could,
like, I got you type stuff.
Let me make that phone call. Like I can actively not be mean to you, and I can actively not stop opportunities for you. I can like just be neutral. But it's like with Kris Jenner, I'm watching Kris Jenner. I'm like, man, I would love to know a Kris Jenner.
I think also, like, there's something with this family to where I think they really value men and put men on a pedestal. Okay. In a way, like, regardless of how powerful the women are in this family.
All of them are.
They all have, like, men as their kryptonite, you know? And I think with Kris, she's just like, I want my daughters to be married. I want them to have a man. I want them to be in a relationship. Like, it'll make them happy. But they're all living amazing lives outside of a man. Yes. But I just feel like Kris just thinks that's just like the epitome of your life is going the right way.
And any man that they get with will have less than they have.
Right. And just having a man is
collectively.
having a man is better than no man. And I feel like Kris is like pushing that on them because I think that's really what she believes. Because like Khloé said, like you've always been in a relationship, you've always had a man. You and Bruce break up and you got Corey. You're never without a man. And I think that that's something that's really important to her and something she wants for her kids. And if she's like, if you can reconcile, try.
That's wild to me. And I think we gonna get some answers because I think Khloé is, I would say, as someone who's new watching the show, Khloé is growing to be one of my favorite because she's just like, she's not Kim. I even asked you during the episode, I said, is this Kim real voice? It's like, I'm just like, it just come off as like, this is not her real voice. It seems like she's putting a little extra sauce on it. You know what I mean? With Khloé, it's like, whoa, like that's a real question right there. Like what was your mindset when you cheated? And then Kris was like, who do you?
She's like, who am I talking to? Who else is here?
I'm talking to you. You get what I'm saying? And I'm just like, I find it very interesting that even though you gave that example and that analogy, even though she was part of these numerous relationships, she was the one who did Rob wrong. She wasn't done wrong in that relationship. She cheated on Rob numerous times, allegedly. So it's like, oh, so really you're Tristan and you're Lamar instead of you're the victim.
And maybe that's why she has empathy for them too, because she's like, I've been there where they are. Maybe. Type thing.
We gonna find out next week. Hey, listen, man. How am I doing with reviewing one of your shows that you watch?
I think you're doing so good.
Because I really don't understand the show. Yeah. I'm watching it, but
it don't sound like you don't. Like, I feel like you're right on point with your takes.
Courtney said, or at least Kim said in previous seasons, Courtney, you're the boring one, and all I watched Kim do this whole episode is go to soccer games, and I'm like, please, I can't wait till we offer Kim, because I'm like, if this is what Kim does throughout the whole season, I don't know if I can sit down and watch Kim just go into these fake business meetings and seem like a big. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, Kim, she wants to show a different side of herself, which is
boring.
Okay, which is fine. But I'm just like, I like the family dynamic.
I like the family dynamic when it's Kris, Khloé.
Yeah.
Like, I like those discussions and Scott and things like that when he show his face and maybe we see Rob. I don't know. Yeah. But it's just like, I like that better than the glitz and glamour of paparazzi and she's like everywhere and she's popping out of a hotel balcony. Yeah. It's just like, I don't care about that. That's why I say, how am I doing? I feel like I'm drowning during those scenes.
No, you're good.
Thank you. Anything else?
That is all.
Y'all be good.
Bye.